Welcome students. This is Social Science class 7th standard Political Science lesson number 1 Our Constitution. This is second video. If you have not watched the previous video, please check in the playlist. Today I will continue the lesson with the explanation regarding preamble to the Constitution, salient feature of the Constitution. Let us continue the lesson. In the last class, I have explained about the size of the Constitution, which consists of 395 articles, 12 schedules. Preamble to the Constitution. The Constitution of India begins with the preamble. The preamble is considered as the heart of the Constitution, as it represents the dream and ideologies of the people. Here, justice, freedom, equality, self-respect, fraternity means friendly relationship, national integrity, all are equal, or the ideologies that find reference in the preamble. So, justice, freedom, equality, self-respect, fraternity, national integrity are the ideologies that find reference in the preamble. Please remember these points, children. Let us start discussing about the Constitution of India in that preamble. So what is mentioned in our preamble? Let me see now. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist democratic republic, and to ensure that citizens have social, economic, political justice. So this is the first point you have to remember under preamble. Second point, under preamble, the freedom of thought is mentioned, expression, belief, faith, worship, equality of status and employment, and to promote among all fraternity, friendly relationship, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. So this is the second point mentioned in our preamble. Third point, in our Constituent Assembly, this day of November 26, 1949, we enact and we give ourselves this Constitution. So these are the points you have to remember under preamble of the Constitution. Let us discuss about the salient features of the Constitution. Salient feature of the Constitution. Our Constitution has its own unique features. One is, ours is a written Constitution. First salient feature is written Constitution. The Indian Constitution is in written form. This is the lengthiest Constitution in the world, because rules and regulations are given more. The structure, power and extent of power of three organs of the government, they are 1 legislature, 2 executive, 3 judiciary are explained. There is a single constitution both for central and state governments. Therefore, the size of the constitution is big. So, single constitution is followed both for central and state government. So, our government functions are divided into two divisions. One is central government, 2 state government. Therefore, the size of the constitution is big. Second point you have to know under salient feature is republic. The constitution has declared India as a republic. In case of republican system, there is no rule of the king. Instead, there is the rule of elected representatives by the people. India, which has this kind of political system, is known as democratic republic. So, elected representatives are elected by the people. This kind of political system is known as democratic republic. Here is a photo of 3 main persons who worked for our Constituent Assembly. Our President of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Chairman of the Drafting Committee Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and our first Prime Minister of Free India Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Third salient feature of our Constitution is fundamental rights and duties. The Constitution guarantees 6 fundamental rights to a citizen at present and 11 fundamental duties are there. So this is not fundamental duties. Here you have to know, right? Fundamental rights. The state can never pass any law that curbs these fundamental rights. So it will not follow any laws that will disturb fundamental rights. In case of violation of fundamental rights, the judiciary only has the power to rectify it. So the citizens cannot exercise their rights as per their whims and fancies. So they have to obey the constitutional rules. There are 11 fundamental duties are mentioned in our Constitution. 6 fundamental rights and 11 fundamental duties. Please remember, children. 4 salient feature you have to remember under this lesson is secularism. So all religions are given equal importance. That is called as secularism. No religious differences. The Constitution upholds the principle of secularism. The governments are expected to make no discrimination on the basis of religion and are expected to treat all religions equally. Therefore, the government considers no religion as its religion. So, every citizen is at freedom to practice any religion according to their choice, according to their faith. So, the government has the authority to control the freedom to practice one's religion in the interest of the public interest. So, government is there to protect our religion and we are having our own freedom to practice our own religion. So, in my next video, I will continue the explanation about salient features, independent judiciary, universal adult franchise, etc. Now, I will review these points whatever we have discussed today. The size of our Constitution. Our Constitution contains 395 articles, 12 schedules. We started discussing about preamble. Preamble includes justice, freedom, equality, self-respect, fraternity, national integrity, ideologies that are find reference in the preamble. Today we started discussing about salient feature of the Constitution. First one, we discuss about written Constitution. Under written Constitution, rules are in written form. Ours is the lengthiest Constitution. The structure, the power and extent of power of 3 organs of the government are mentioned. Those 3 organs are 1 legislature, 2 executive, 3 judiciary. In India, we are following a single constitution both for central and state government. Therefore, our constitution is called as lengthiest constitution. Second point of the salient feature is republic. There is no rule of the king and there is the rule of the elected representatives by the people. In our political system is known as democratic republic. In our constitution, the third salient feature is fundamental rights and fundamental duties. So there are 6 fundamental rights we have to follow. They are as follows. 1. Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. Once again repeat, right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. These are the 6 fundamental rights we are following in our Constitution. In our Constitution, we are following 11 fundamental duties are there in our Constitution. Fourth main point of the salient feature is secularism. So what is secularism? secularism, in that no discrimination we are making on the basis of religion. We treat all religions equally. Every citizen is at freedom to practice any religion of his choice and his faith. These are the main salient features we have discussed today. Remaining salient features like independent judiciary, universal adult franchise, I will continue in my next video. Thank you, children.